Hello there students, how are you? I wish you a blessing Ramadan and may God accept your deeds in this sacred month. Today we are going to talk about noun feminine forms. English has a small clutch. Clutch means group. So English has a small group of nouns with feminine derivational suffixes. They have been added to a masculine form or to a base morpheme. Here's a list of most of them. So here we have a suffix and they have been added to a masculine form or forms to produce or to make feminine form. Let's see how. The first one, the suffix a, the masculine form of it, fiancé, and when it has been added to a feminine form, it produces fiancé, the same pronunciation here. The second one, E-double-N-E, like comedian and comedian. There's a slight difference between the pronunciation here, comedian and comedienne. The third one, E-double-S, patron, patroness. The fourth, E-double-T-A, Henry and Henrietta. Here is their names. And E-double-T-E like farmer and farmerette. The next one, E-U-S-E, like masseur and masseuse. The next, I-N-A, George and Georgina. Here it's also named. I-N-E, like hero and heroine. And S-T-E-R, like spinner and spinster. Spinner, the one who makes thread by twisting fiber, and here is spinster, a female. S-T-R-E-S-S, like semester and semestress. Semester and semestress. Semester like a male dressmaker, and here a female dressmaker or tailor. The last one, IX, like aviator. Aviator, it means the pilot, and aviatrix, it means a female pilot. The second subject, or our second subject, noun diminutive forms. What's the meaning of diminutive? Diminutive means very small. In English, 6 diminutive suffixes can be found. These are morphemes, which convey a meaning of smallness or endearment or both. Sometimes convey a meaning of smallness and other convey a meaning of endearment. Sometimes both or sometimes both. The first one, i.e., I or Y, as in auntie, Betty, Sweetie and Willie. Betty and Willie, they are names, whereas auntie, Sweetie can be used for specific persons. Here it can be a meaning of endearment. The second one, E-double-T-E, as in dinette and towelette. Dinette, a small dining area, so it conveys the meaning of smallness. Towelette, a wet paper, a small wet paper, so here it's also conveys the meaning of smallness. The third one, kin and I-K-I-N and K-I-N-S, as in lambkin. Lambkin means a newborn lamb. Mankin means a short man. The fourth one, L-I-N-G, as in duckling. Duckling means a young duck, and darling means a little deer. The fifth, E-T, as in circlet. Circlet, a small circle. And the last one, L-A-T, as in booklet and starlet. Booklet, a book which contains a small number of pages, and starlet, an actress who hopes to be famous in the future. The vowels of these diminutive suffixes. The vowel of these diminutive suffixes all are three front vowels. Three front vowel like e, and a. The first suffix, namely this one. This is the first suffix, pronounced like a and spelled like ie, I, and y, is highly productive. So this suffix is highly productive. It's attached to one syllable first names to suggest endearment and intimacy or smallness, as in Johnny, Janie, Jackie, and Jerry. So here, those suffixes suggest endearment and intimacy or smallness, sometimes smallness. The second suffix, namely this one, E-double-T-E. The second suffix is also in active use, generally to indicate smallness. So the second suffix refers to smallness, indicates smallness. For example, a dinette is a small dining area and a roomette is a small room. The other four diminutive suffixes are unproductive and inactive. So the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth, they are unproductive and inactive. Unproductive and inactive. Let's move to another subject, which is immediate constituents. What's the meaning of immediate constituent? Immediate constituent is a successive divisions. It means is a successive shares into two parts of which it seems to have been composed. The process is continued until all component morphemes of a word have been isolated. So immediate constituent is what? A successive divisions, a successive shares of a word into two parts until all component morphemes of a word have been isolated. Let's see how. For example, the word cheerful, here we make a cut, the first cut here. So it is called immediate constituent. This is an immediate constituent between cheer and full. Let's see another example. Gentlemanly. We make the first cut or the first immediate constituent between gentleman and ly. But why we cut it here and we didn't cut it from here, for example? Why? Let's see why. We didn't cut it like that, gentle and manly, as separated parts, because the total meaning of gentlemanly does not seem to be composed of the meanings of its two parts, gentle and manly. So here we should take in, here there is a note that should be taken into consideration. There should be a correspondence between the two parts. For example, here there is a correspondence between gentleman and ly. So when we add the ly to this word, the meaning of the word is still the same, but it will be changed from a noun into an adverb. Whereas here, gentle and manly, there is no correspondence between gentle and manly. They are totally different. So that's why we didn't make a cut like that, or we didn't make a cut here and we put it here between the ly and gentleman. We continue in this way. So sometimes we don't stop. We continue in this way, cutting every part into two more until we have reduced the word to its ultimate constituents. Let's see how. For example, gentlemanly, we can also do another cut or do another immediate constituent. This is the first one, and this is the second one, between gentle and man, the second one. Be careful, the first immediate constituent or the first cut, there should be a correspondence between the meaning or between the two parts, between the meaning of two parts, whereas the second immediate constituent or the second cut, it's not important. The meaning of the two parts is not important, so just the first cut. Recommendations on immediate constituent division. Here we have 3 recommendations. The first one, if a word ends in an inflectional suffix, the first cut is between this suffix and the rest of the word. If we have a word that ends with an inflectional suffix, so the first cut is between this suffix and the rest of the word. For example, if we have the word preconceived, here this is an inflectional suffix and this is the rest of the word. So the first cut or the first immediate constituent will be here between the inflectional suffix and the rest of the word. The second example, malformations. This is an inflectional suffix and this is the rest of the word. So the first immediate constituent will be here between the S and malformation. The second recommendation, one of the immediate constituents should be, if possible, free form. What is a free form? A free form is one that can be uttered along with meaning, as we have studied before, a base. For example, enlarge, dependent, and supportable. Let's see how can we make an immediate constituent for those 3 words. The first one, enlargement. So we put the first cut here between meant and enlarge. Why? Because enlarge here is a free form that can be uttered along with meaning. Enlarge, it has meaning. Also, independent, dependent and in. We make the immediate constituent here because dependent is a free form. It can be uttered along with meaning. And also insupportable, supportable also here a free form and it can be uttered along, and this is the in. We can, the first immediate constituent cannot be here. The best place for it here. Let's see the third recommendation. The meaning of immediate constituent should be related to the meaning of the word. So there should be a correspondence between the parts of the word. For example, restrain. We can't make an immediate constituent here. Why? Because there is no correspondence between rest and rain. They are not related to each other. They are not related to the meaning of the word. But the best way to do this, like that, re and strain. Here, the meaning is still the same, or there is a correspondence between re and strain. Restrain. Strain here is a verb, and restrain also a verb. And also there is a correspondence between them. For example, starchy. We make an immediate constituent here, and this is wrong because star and chi, they are not related to the meaning of the word. Star and chi, they are not related to the meaning of the original word, starchy. Whereas starch and y, they are related to the meaning of the word, because starch here is a noun, whereas here not. They are wrong. Okay, we have finished the last part of chapter 8, namely morphemes. I wish and I hope that you understand this lecture. Thank you and goodbye.